Hey, yo, fans of the fucking sport. What up? It's Lemek with selahsportstv back at it again. Cheer. Um, what's going on now? Like, what is this, man? Like, you got little guy, right? That's what I'm gonna call him now. In this instance, I'm gonna call him little guy, Terence Bud Crawford, moving up to his fourth weight division, right? Beat a game champion in Israel Madrimov, right? Game. Not great. He was game. He was game champion. He didn't just hand over his belt to Terence Crawford. He did some things in there. He was game. But now you got all these guys scrambling for the fucking hills. What am I talking about? Tim Zoo, right? Tough man. Australian guy. Fight anybody, right? But as soon as Terence Crawford enters that division, now it's like he wanted. I'm gonna go back to last year. He wanted to fight Errol Spence. Not last year, a few months ago. He wanted to fight Errol Spence, right? Because he wasn't scheduled to fight Fundora. He was scheduled to beat up on Keith Thurman. And then PBC is always the shenanigans with them. So it makes sense that Canelo's over there working with them. Canelo, another duck. Another duck, right? You got 20 something pounds on this guy. More than that, because I'm sure he would come in somewhere around 190 on fight night. I'm sure of it. He's done it before. Right? I ain't even gonna waste no more time. Y'all already know about that clown. But Virgil Ortiz, another guy. And like, I'm tired of these guys. I'm tired of these motherfuckers. With the exception of Tim Zoo, this is Tim Zoo's first time that I've seen Tim Zoo like duck. Tim Zoo was with all the smoke until Bud Crawford came. But these other guys, though, it's always them ducking. Why? Something's going on with boxing where I think this so-called fan base is leading to the toxicity that we see, right? You got a fan base that supports cheaters, right? Now you got a fan base that's supporting open duckers, right? They start hating other fighters because he challenged their favorite fighter. This is where boxing is now. Like, that's not cool, bro. It's not. Like, this shit is damn. This shit is turning into some soap opera type. Uh, I don't know. I don't know what it's turning into something that's not familiar with those of us who follow boxing and been following boxing for a while, right? Virgil Ortiz, CJ Goodfellas, he's right. When Ryan Garcia was in the news and all that, and Ryan Garcia just happened to mention his name one time, Virgil Ortiz was hopped all over that shit. Hopped all over it. Yeah, I'll fight him. Yeah, let's go. We can do it tomorrow. Right? Terence Crawford wins. You got the goddamn trillionaire. Turkey Al-Sheikh goes on his program and say your name. How many times a trillionaire ever said your name? Trillionaire, like, I want to work with Virgil Ortiz. Let's get him the Bud Crawford fight. But now you're non-committal. Like, what is this shit, man? So I admit I haven't been necessarily following the Olympics. Not sure what the Olympic team is doing. But the future of American boxing looks to be in trouble, in shambles. Fuck Canelo. He's like, fuck him. Canelo's he's not a legacy guy. Things just see Benavidez, he gotta kind of blame himself for a lot of this, because if he could have just held on to his title, right? If he could have just held on to his title at 168, not losing it on a fucking scale, right? If he could have just held on to that one, Canelo would have been exposed a long time ago in some form or fashion. He wouldn't have ran up there to 168. But when Benavidez lost that title, it just opened everything. It's like the stars just aligned. And Canelo, he looked up at the stars like, what the fuck? Oh, yeah, yeah. Sí, señor. Whatever the fuck. But, yeah. We're really seeing this shit. So now we're at a place where the only guy who says he wants to fight Terence Crawford is a guy from 140. 140. He ain't even had a fight at welterweight yet. Teofimo Lopez. He's gonna come from 140 up to 154 and fight Bud. Yeah. Who believes that? Who believes that? And for Canelo, for Canelo Alvarez to get in front of a microphone and say, yes, I think he deserves to fight more than me. He said that. Canelo said Teofimo Lopez deserves a Crawford fight more than he does. At that point, Crawford should just throw his hands up and say, you know what? Yeah, you know what? He's right. Not about the T.O. part, but yeah, you ain't on my caliber. I can't raise my stock by fighting you. And for everybody saying, oh, Canelo is too much weight, there's too much. I get it. And if all things were equal, yeah, you're probably right. If all things were equal, Crawford wouldn't even want this fight. He even said it. If you go back like 2 years, he said it. But then he saw something. Like, see, he knows something about Canelo. He knows that he's not living the fighter's lifestyle no more. Right? He knows that he is out of the tough fight game. He knows that. He knows Canelo ain't willing to go to hell. How about Canelo ain't willing to go to hell? How about let's go back to that Bivol fight. He didn't go to hell in the 12th round. Majormov didn't go to hell in the 12th round. Shit, Crawford was up, and he went way more closer to hell than Majormov did. That's what I'm talking about. Lomachenko and the losses that he take. He don't go to hell in the last round. He takes the last round off and then cry about losing this shit. But anyway, it's going to be interesting because of the way things are now. I mean, you see all this open ducking. I don't know what kind of money these guys going to have to get paid, but who's going to be left for Bud Crawford to fight? Now, one thing we know is he's going to be lined up for these belts, right? So Fundora, he cannot fight Bud Crawford, but he's just going to end up losing that WBL. And I believe Crawford is. I'm not sure. Drop it in the comments if I'm right or if I'm wrong. But I believe Crawford is a mandatory for the WBC as well. I believe so. So one way or another, like guys are gonna have to fight. Now, Fundora might get away with it because the thing about Fundora is how the fuck is he? He shouldn't even be at that weight. Like, people talk about weight bullies, but then they like Fundora. They'll call like everybody else a weight bully, but not Fundora, right? It's hilarious. But anyway, I ain't gonna hold you, man. That's all I got. If you like the video, bang off on that like button one time. Peace.